London's bougiest buffet for £175. Is it one to add to your bucket list? Or maybe you shouldn't bother. Today I'm heading to the Ned for the Sunday feast. Now this is a reservation I've been trying to get for a very long time. It's really hard to book because they only do it on a Sunday and it's very popular. I've seen YouTube videos on it, TikToks on it. It looks amazing. They have a massive selection, but it is very pricey. So today we'll check it out and see if it's worth it. We have been seated and I already have my first plate of food. Got straight up and over to the buffet. I'm not sure if anyone knows of that joke. It's a Michael McIntyre joke where he talks about like you sit down for a buffet, you know, they get you seated and then everyone kind of just sits awkwardly and then gets straight up again to go to the buffet. That just happened. Got my first little plate of salads and we also got our first glass of champagne. My first plate has some Caesar salad, some potato salad, a little deviled egg, and then I had some trouble getting the salmon onto the plate with the little like buffet, you know, the little apparatus that you use at the buffet to like pick stuff up and put it down. So the salmon's a bit all over the place, but I am going to top it onto this little avocado toast and give it a try. It is a bit of a hot day in London today, and I will say the aircon's not super airconning right now, so I am already feeling myself getting a little bit hot, which is never a good thing when you're planning to eat a lot of food. I'm just unraveling my knife and fork, get my napkin out. Hopefully we don't have any spillages. Given that I've got my cream Calvin Klein t-shirt on, probably not the best idea for this kind of a buffet where I'm going to be eating lots of food. Right, let's give the food a try. I'm going to start with a little bit of the Caesar salad. They had a pretty decent salad selection, like there was quite a few options. And I love starting off with a nice fresh salad, so we'll see how good this is. That's quite nice, really fresh. Try some of the potato salad. Oh, I do love a good potato salad. It's one of my picnic favorites. That is delicious. Onto the deviled egg. Oh, the deviled egg is good. Let's try this avocado salmon. The avocado is actually seasoned quite nice, and the little toast thing that this is on is just perfect. It gives the right amount of crunch. Sometimes these things can be like really hard, and then when you bite into them they kind of like disintegrate. That's a pretty strong start. Now, as I mentioned, this is a very expensive buffet, so where you're going to really get your money's worth is going to be with the meats and with the seafood. So you may have heard when we were coming in and we were waiting to be seated, we saw a guy go past with pretty much a whole lobster on his plate. Rachel and I, my sister who's here with me, we're just like, oh my gosh, like wide-eyed. That's definitely where you're going to see, you know, making up that value of the 175 is having lots of lobster and lots of champagne. Ooh. Now the champagne is actually an upgrade, so you can choose not to have the unlimited champagne, and you can instead have a single glass of like Prosecco or wine included. So you can literally grab like a whole one. Oh my god, you've got a massive one. This is round 2. So I've got some aubergine. I got a little bit of lobster for now. I got a little lime wedge there for some oysters. I got 2 oysters. I've got a sausage roll, and then I've also got some lobster mac and cheese. Bit of a random ensemble we're going for here for round 2. Rachel has just said to me the mac and cheese is banging, so
it's pretty heavy, which is the only downfall because there's a lot more to eat, but it's so good.
So when we got up there to go to the buffet, they came, took our plates away, replaced the plates, replaced the cutlery, and then also, I don't know if they replaced the napkin or they just refolded it. but the table was like completely set again, which is so nice. They're definitely very attentive. The server like has been over quite a few times just checking on things and making sure we have everything that we need. They're also walking around very actively topping up the champagne too. But let's dig into some food. I know Rachel was going to be a little bit reluctant to try the oyster that's on her plate because she's never had an oyster before. So we'll have to see how she gets on with it. I'm going to start with the mac and cheese because I had heard this was really good too. Oh wow, that is good. That is so good. Somehow kind of light, even though like you know that it would be very filling, and a really strong like flavor of the lobster as well. Oh my gosh, that's so good. Okay, I'm gonna try the aubergine. I thought actually it was a mushroom when I saw it first. I do love aubergine, but I normally like it when it's like more caramelized. That's okay. I'm not crazy about that. Let's try the sausage roll next. The sausage roll meat looks really good, so be interesting to see how good it tastes. I knew that sausage roll meat looked good. It's very nice. I'd have that in like just a big sausage roll for breakfast. I'm gonna give a little squeeze of the lemon on my lobster. I'm gonna squeeze the rest into my oysters and try some of the lobster. I have to say, like, as much as I enjoy eating seafood, I hate having to try and take it out of the shells. Now they've given us the tools to do it. So they've given us, I don't know what this is called, but it's a very fancy version of it to kind of help like pry the lobster out of the shell. And then they've also given us a shook. Oh no, a shook is for oysters, so I actually don't know what the other thing is called. I'm not putting this on camera because what I'm doing right now is butchering my lobster. I think I did okay actually. I've got a good bit of it out. Okay, scratch that. I feel like they might have given us a bit of a helping hand there and loosened up the lobster on the inside for us. Let's try. Now I didn't see like a butter sauce or anything. I like when I have a lobster just to be able to like drizzle a little butter over it. You know what? I didn't really need it. The lobster's really nice. Oh, that was banging. That lobster disappeared very quick. 3 bites. Going in for an oyster. Trying the main part of the meal now. I'll cut some beef. The beef is cooked a really nice kind of medium well, I'd say. Just looking at the color of it. And the gravy looks like it's going to be pretty nice too. That's nice. The potatoes look decent too. They look like they're nice and crispy. Okay, they're good roast potatoes because they're crispy on the outside, but they're really soft and fluffy on the inside. Now I will say, when I was loading my plate up, I was picking out all the little crispy potatoes because I love those. I'm gonna try some of the stuffing. Now the stuffing is a bit like, what's the word? Like it's not all together, if that makes sense. Like it's a bit crumbly, you can see there. But I'll try some stuffing with the roast veg. The roast veg actually looks really nice too. I think I've got like a roast napkins doing its job there because some of that crumbly stuffing just rolled onto my lap. I've got some carrot here with the stuffing, so I'll give that a try. Okay, the stuffing's quite nice. I feel like I'm saying a lot of the same stuff because it is nice. Like all the food has tasted like pretty fresh, which is always quite difficult with a buffet. But I think because they have such a good turnover, like of people coming up and grabbing stuff, the food is getting turned over so quick that it's staying fresh. Now there is like a little bit of a queue at certain points for like the meat. Seems like the meat and like the seafood, like the lobster and stuff. It's a little bit of a queue, but it's maybe only like 2 or 3 people. Okay, the Yorkshire pudding's okay. I will say I've had better Yorkshire puddings, but it is nice and light and thin, which I think is probably good given the amount of food that's here. I'll try lastly then just some of the cheesy cauliflower. Now, there were massive chunks of the cauliflower. I was trying to get a little small bit, but it just wasn't possible. I've got a nice cheesy bit here to try. The cauliflower is a bit crunchy, so Rachel's just saying she doesn't like the cauliflower cheese because it's not soft, like it's kind of undercooked. like a little bit. I don't know if you would call cauliflower al dente, like you call pasta al dente, but that's what it is. Actually, looking at Rachel's cauliflower, it is looking a bit green, so maybe it wasn't fully, I don't know, ripe. Does cauliflower get ripe?
Yeah. Set that up for me.
So here is a bit of a dessert selection. Got a chocolate cake, brownie. We were told by our server that the cheesecake was great. This is an Oreo cheesecake. And Rachel's just about to have a cake pop. She looks delighted with herself.
It's just like eat it and go right by it.
I think cake pop suggests that you just pop it in your mouth. It is kind of big though.
Yeah, I think I might bite it.
Go on. Is it good? Now, before I go in for these sweet desserts, I have gone for some cheese. This one struggled to get on the plate over here. I think this is some goat's cheese, maybe? Oh, no, actually, I think that's the goat's cheese there. Got some blue cheese. Got some crackers. This is brie over here. Yeah, that's the one I struggled to get on the plate. But I thought I would just have a little small cheese course before moving on to those desserts. And there's another little potted dessert over here. We think this is like a lemon tart with some berries on top. Happy birthday! Oh, that is so cute. I think this might be my last plate. This is Eton Mess, a little bit of brownie, cake pop, and the lemon drizzle cake. I did get to try the chocolate cake, the velvet cake, and the Oreo cake because Rachel and I halved her portions. So of the cakes I've had already, I really liked the Oreo cheesecake, but the chocolate cake I think is the best so far that I've tried. I did also have some, well, I thought it was apple crumble, and I was like digging in the crumble to find the apple, but it was just crumble. And then you were like supposed to put, I think, like the berry compote with it, but I put a bit of the bread pudding and then put some custard on top, and that was really nice too. But I think the chocolate cake is my favorite so far. But I'm gonna try these desserts that we have here now. So we'll start with the Eton Mess. The cream is really nice in that actually. Now I wasn't going to get a brownie, but Rachel told me it was very good. That was really nice. They just came by as well to offer us coffee and tea, which I think suggests we should be getting our bill soon. But we have actually just hit our 2-hour mark and they haven't been like pushing us out the door, which is good. I imagine the bill is going to come around shortly and then, you know, it will be time to leave because it is a 2-hour time limit, I guess, that you have here. Oh my god, that brownie is so good. Right, I'll try the lemon drizzle cake. I do love a lemon drizzle, so it's actually maybe a little bit dry. The top of it is good. They definitely put the drizzle down into the cake, but then towards the middle it is a little bit dry. Okay, I'll try the cake pop because Rachel really liked this. It's like a really moist chocolate cake.
Like fudgy in it.
Yeah, like fudgy. That might be the best dessert.
Yeah.
I think the cake pop is the best dessert. I'd say overall we probably had about 3 full glasses of champagne. It'll be interesting to see what they do like when they bring us the bill. I had seen some people carrying drinks like from this section, I think over to the bar, so I'm not sure if they'll let you have like one last refill and take it over to the bar or whether they kind of just have you leave the table completely. So we'll see when they bring the bill around. So they brought our bill around, I'd say about 2 hours and 15 minutes after we had been sat, and we paid and everything, and they had actually just refilled our glasses with champagne, and they told us we could come and sit at the bar area and finish off the glass of champagne. So I thought that was nice because like we literally got a full glass of champagne as we were leaving the table. So I'd say overall we've probably had at least 4 full, maybe more, maybe 4 to 5 glasses of champagne, which I think actually, if we're going back to the question of like being worth the cost, I think the upcharge for the champagne in terms of like what you would have paid per glass or for a bottle to yourself is actually about right. Like, and you know, we could have had more if we were drinking faster because they were coming around and filling it up the whole time. But I feel like that was a nice amount of champagne over the 2 and a bit hours. Some final thoughts then on the overall value of the experience. So I will say we have had a lovely time. We had lovely service. All of the food was really nice, really fresh. Very much enjoyed the experience. Would I say that I would come back? Probably not, unless it was with someone like that really wanted to come and try it, that had never tried it before. And I would say that's mainly because of the variety. Like, we tried pretty much everything that was on offer today, so there's nothing like that I'd be wanting to come back for. And then in terms of whether I thought the actual price of the buffet was worth it in terms of like the food that we ate, I think it kind of depends. Like, if you wanted to come and have a good roast dinner, I feel like you can get probably slightly better roast dinners at some places in London, like some of the top tier roast dinner restaurants here around London, and you'll pay less than what we've paid today. But if you're going to eat like 3 lobsters, then actually the price you paid is really good. If you're going to have a lot of lobster, you're going to have some oysters, you're going to have a roast dinner, like you add all that up, and you know, we did probably get value for money. I just think I would probably be just as happy going and spending like 50, 60 quid on a good roast dinner and then having some champagne. If you don't eat seafood at all, so if you're not going to have the lobster, the oysters, the salmon, I think you're going to struggle to eat enough to justify the cost of this. Like, if that's what you're trying to work out in your head, like, am I going to eat enough food to justify it being like the £110? I don't think that's going to happen if you don't like seafood, because again, I think you can get really high quality roast dinners at much less of a price. Now, I will say the dessert selection was amazing. I actually think, like, you look at the proportions of the buffet, the dessert section got a good quarter, I'd say, of the entire buffet. Maybe even more, yeah, and the desserts were amazing. So if you've got a big appetite as well, obviously a buffet, you're going to be able to eat a lot more than in a normal restaurant. So again, you're going to be able to get that value for money. But I will say, like, overall, our bill came to like £407. Now that included the bottle of water that we got. So they offered you like still or sparkling when you sat down. We got a bottle of still water. It included both of us having the buffet, both of us having the unlimited champagne, and then also a service charge on top. For about the same price, you could probably go to a like Michelin star restaurant and have a bottle of wine with your dinner. I have gone to Marcus Waring's restaurant as an example. I've had I think either 7 or 9 course tasting menu, something like that, and a bottle of wine with my partner, and we've spent about the same price. So it's a completely different dining experience. That's very much fine dining, but the thing is, you're coming here and you're paying fine dining prices, so just be aware of that. Like, it really depends on the kind of experience that you're looking for. If you're going to drink a lot of champagne, you're also going to get your value for money here. Like, if you're coming with the girls and you're all like treating yourselves, like for my sister and I, we both have birthdays very close together, which is why we booked this meal. Like, we're treating each other to having this nice buffet, drinking lots of champagne. We are outside getting some fresh air after all of that champagne. I have to say, one thing that I didn't mention too much while we were inside was the live music. Now, I'm personally not usually the biggest fan of live music while I'm eating, because sometimes I find you can't really like have a conversation with who you're with and stuff. But this was like the perfect volume, but also the perfect music. We kind of had a lot of noughties hits, like I guess more pop songs, but they were done in like a jazz format. So I don't know, the singer was great, the music was really good, and a few times while we were having a little rest from all of the food, we found ourselves kind of like bopping along to the music in our seat. But looping back to the question we kind of started with at the very beginning of this vlog, do I think that coming to the feast at the Ned is a bucket list item? Well, it's been on my list for a long time, and I feel like I've really enjoyed myself, but I've also ticked it off the list. So I think that perfectly describes a bucket list item. It's a one and done. I wouldn't be too excited to go back and do it again, but I am happy that I went and did it today. And then as for the guy that said don't bother, I think that depends. Like, if you're not into seafood, also I'd say if you're a vegetarian or vegan, I would say don't bother. I don't think there's enough variety for someone that doesn't eat meat or seafood. But otherwise, if you've been thinking about it and it's on your list, and you'll drink a lot of champagne, I would say go for it. With that being said though, I'd love to hear if you have a different bucket list item meal, especially if it's here in London, because then maybe I can go and give it a try. Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.